Lewis will defend whichever car attacks first.
The boat can't
Or
wait!
someone has to sacrifice!
What is the meaning of purpose? Some describe it as this sense of meaning in one's life. Others describe it as their personal God-given mission. But regardless of what you describe it as, we can all agree that having purpose in your life is very, very important. And now, why is it important? Why is it important to have purpose in your life? According to science, or according to scientific studies, it is shown that those people who lack a sense of purpose in their life, specifically men, have a 47% chance of landing into depression. And at the same time, they have a 47% chance of dropping into or landing into self-destructive behaviors. For example, being addicted to sex, being addicted to gambling, being addicted to masturbation, pornography, also being addicted to drinking and stuff like that. Self-destructive behaviors and also drugs at the same time. Those who lack purpose have a high percent chance of being in those situations. At the same time, some men might show a very decreased or significant drop or decrease in their level of confidence. Their self-esteem is very, very low. And also they're considered less attractive by the opposite gender. That is science, and also that's the females which were being interviewed. So not the other gender. So I don't know any other genders, but I know females and males exist. So they're also considered less attractive by the opposite gender, well, females. Just put it out there. So to help you avoid this pitfall, I want us to watch Formula One.
Way through the back of the field. Valtteri Bottas just on the line. Bottas gets second.
Well, not the sport specifically, but I want us to watch a movie about the sport itself, which was made by my favorite actor and also producer, Brad Pitt, which was freaking awesome that I saw him in the cover of that freaking film. It was like, oh my freaking days, it's freaking Brad Pitt. He's making a Formula One movie about I love that. So I'm sorry for geeking out. So you might be asking right now, how in the world does Formula One relate to me finding my purpose long got here? And I'm glad you asked, my friend. Now, listen up. I want to give you 3 things by the end of this episode that will help you not only make the search for your purpose much easier, but at the same time it will make it feel all the more exciting. And also at the same time, I have a very selfish goal with making this video. I want to make as much of my audience interested in Formula One. So I am a bit selfish because it's my freaking video and you can't do anything. I'm sorry. So yeah, so let's get into it. 3, 2, and 1. So I assume most of you haven't watched a Formula One because majority of my audience are maybe interested in other things. I haven't really gotten down to what you guys are interested in, but I assume most of you haven't watched Formula One. But for those who have, I want you to go down in the comments and rate the film from 3 to 13. That's the scale I want us to rate the film with. For me, I'll leave it a solid 10. I have my reasons, but I don't want to share them right now to make the video, to make that information be relevant for this video. But those who haven't watched the film, I want us to take a very good perspective into watching this film. I'm going to watch this film with you in this particular video. And we are going to watch this film in the eyes of the main protagonist, Sonny Hayes. Now, this is my perspective of the film, and I've taken a very spiritual and also psychological step, or not even step, but philosophical and psychological and also spiritual perspective into watching this film and interpreting what it means. This movie isn't just about racing. Yes, it's about racing. It's about fast cars moving at 250 miles per hour, but the main perspective or the main thing with this film is it's about a man and his purpose, or a man and his gift. Sonny Hayes is this veteran driver who has seen it all. He's he's past his prime, but there's this quiet weight that he carries with him. It's like he's searching for meaning again. You can tell with the way he's not just fighting for a podium finish, and by a podium finish in Formula One, it means top 3 in a race. There are 20 teams, and when you are in top 3, it's really considered a very good race that you had. So that makes his journey all the more powerful, because he's not concentrating on the race. He's not concentrating about the fame he'll get, or about the money he'll get, or about the podium finish, as you just said. It's about rediscovering, why did I start racing in the first place? That's the reason that's the main thing that I saw with him in this film, or his main arc or character arc with this film. Then there's Joshua Pierce, which is played brilliantly by Desmond Idris. For those who've known him, or those who've seen Snowfall, that's the guy who has played the other protagonist of this film. He's young, he's fierce, he's talented, but he has a lot to prove. He is confident, and I think some might argue he's absolutely very, very confident. I think too confident. And he represents a stage in every man's life where ambition tends to blind you from what really matters. If you have been at some point, or the people who are listening to this can really relate to that, at some point, you're so driven to achieve your goals, it really blinds you from what really matters. And that's what Joshua Pierce represents in this film. Watching him and Sonny Hayes clash is like seeing the same person at the same time in different bodies. On one side, there's Sonny Hayes, who is trying to learn patience, the ability to wait for that thing that he wants to come to him. And on the other side, there's Joshua Pierce, who is really learning how to be humble, honestly, because he's taken up by the fame, the noise, or hey, how many people like me, how's my career going, how's social media, stuff like that. He's trying to learn patience. Sonny Hayes has experienced what he's trying to learn, and at the same time, Joshua Pierce sees a flaw in Sonny Hayes that he's not seeing himself. So it's in a way that we are seeing two people, the same people, in two different bodies. Now, F1 or Formula One isn't just about cars, as you've seen. It's about the human engine. It's the thing inside every single person that pushes us to wake up every single morning, to rise and to strive for something better. As we've said, it's about the human engine. And in that sense, Sonny Hayes doesn't just drive. He reflects the deeper truth about purpose, that purpose isn't something that you just find. Sometimes purpose is something that you build, one lap at a time. And that's what purpose is. A reason to wake up. That's that thing that fuels your engine inside you, that powers your daily action. That's what simply purpose is in a nutshell. Now, Formula One isn't for everyone. Formula One is definitely not for everyone. I've watched every single race 2025, every single week that there has been a race, every Grand Prix, every qualifiers. I've watched every single race. I've played mobile games, and also I've watched the film 3 times, and I cannot understand how in the world does one control a freaking moving rocket on wheels moving at 250 miles per freaking hour. I do not understand how anyone can do that. I've driven my dad's car before at roughly 80 kilometers per hour. That's not high. It is high, but not that high, but it's definitely scary. Now I can imagine at 250 kilometers per hour. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely freaking insane. But here's the thing. The rarity with the sport, its difficulty, its exclusivity, it's what makes the sport all the more compelling, and also appalling, and also exciting. And that's how your purpose looks like. There's something you, Vincent, or you, Rose, or you, John, there's something that you can specifically do that no one else can do better than you, or simply there's something that just comes easy to you. For example, it can be a sense of fashion. You really have an eye for fashion. You're a good strategic thinker. You're a good organizer of something. There's something that just comes easy to you that other people can find a world of difficulty for. So what is that thing? Write it down. But before that, there's something else that you need before you start making that list. It can be so many things. You can be good. You can be good in fashion. You can be a good athlete. You can be a good strategic thinker. But What we want is something else. Be able to make that list really stand out, so you can be able to commit and know whether if I pick this thing, can I commit to it? And that is something I want to describe with what I found with Formula One. Formula One really intrigued me with a lot of things. First of all, it's very expensive. I don't know what people are talking about with football. I say, oh, Manchester United, oh, I don't know how many. Formula One spends a lot of money. Cars are expensive. So I think Formula One is the most expensive sport. But that's just one of the things that really intrigued me. But the thing that really captured my attention is their attention to every single detail. I will tell you right now, someone can be in first place in a Formula One race, and if you take just one bad corner slowly, you have gone from 1 to number 6, because it's all about every single detail. Every solo corner, every tire, because there's something called a pit stop. Excuse me, sorry, let me just drink water. Man, I forgot how talking is hard. Okay. As I was saying, every single detail counts. In Formula One, if you take a bad corner slowly, or if you take a corner slowly, if you slow down at the wrong time, if you don't take a lap at just a fraction of the seconds that you need to take them, that is the difference between you and 10th place. And below 10th place, there is no point for you. Above 10th place, that's the first point. Second point, I don't really go deep into that. But what I mean is, every single detail counts. Every strategy, even the tires themselves matter. So if you do not take count of all those things, it means you might win or you might lose. And that's the same mindset that I want you to carry when you're writing down that list of the things that really come easy to you, of your area of mastery, let's just call it like that. That focus on detail is very necessary. If you want to be like the rest of doing the work, sour, just do it. But if you want to be exceptional, if you want to stand out, there's something that needs to be done, and that's focus on detail, tracking every single thing. And that will help you do something that I like to call keeping the internal flame burning, or keeping the flame burning. By keeping the flame burning is that have you ever had this sustained energy and motivation that has gone for a really long time, and you've got energy to do so many things? Like, I can do everything. I can sleep for 2 hours and still do everything. Maybe the older generation really can't understand that, because they're really, you can't really tap into that level of energy. But us as youngsters, we can do that. I remember there's a point that I did not sleep for an entire freaking month. I slept for 4 hours every single day, especially when the time I got a film, or I got into a film in our very big TV station here in our country. For those who are not aware of Citizen, I will be able to describe at the end of this episode. Don't want to really go into that, but that's internal flame. I think we've all had it. That's drive to continue pushing through. That's intensity to strive for more and more and more. That is something that is kept when you focus on every single detail. It doesn't come just by finding your area of mastery or finding what you're good at. No, it comes from really breaking down and seeing, hey, I've done this. Hey, I've done this. Hey, what can I improve? So after you've chosen your area of mastery, my friends, track every single thing. Keep a journal of the reps. Keep a journal of the hours you've studied. Test your own skills outside. Let people test your skills and also rate them and score them. Track every single thing. Track every single detail. Change your strategies. Have a strategy for exercising. Have a strategy for whatever you're doing. Maybe it's content creation. Have a strategy. Every single detail counts. It makes the journey even more exciting, and also it's like, wow, we're planning something. It's like a freaking battle. It's like a freaking, something epic we are planning, because you're taking so much time to focus on this, and your brain will be like, or your subconscious mind, which really controls 97 or 95% of your workings, it will really take its time and see, hey, wow, we love doing this thing. We love taking and giving the attention. Although you don't feel it right now, at some point, if you take a break from that work, even if it's just one day, you'll start missing it. You'll be like, I want to do this. Don't take me away from my work. And that's what you need to build. when you've chosen your area of mastery and you start tracking everything, you go down the path of number one, mastery, because mastery is key, and at the same time, sustained motivation or sustained energy. But now there's a problem. What if Longcatier loses his desire for acting? What if Longcatier loses his desire of becoming a great journalist? What if Longcatier loses his desire for being a great filmmaker? What if my passion fades? What is up, guys? Hope you're doing well. If you are still here, I want to really thank you, and also I want to urge you to subscribe to the channel and to the podcast, and also share this podcast with a friend who might find it very beneficial. And also follow me on my socials. IG, I really post a lot of acting stuff there, and also on my TikTok I really post a lot of motivational and also really share a lot of content there, which is absolutely great, that really relates to what we're doing. Not necessarily, but most of the time it relates with what we're doing right here. So if you are interested in all of that, and also psychology, spirituality, and also personal development, I want to encourage you to subscribe and also like this video, so we can be able to push to a lot of people, and also we can be able to build this community of, number one, people who like movies, and also at the same time people who are interested in personal development, being able to build a generation of the next men who will inspire us towards a better future. Thank you very much. If you've done it, it will only take you 2 seconds. 1, 2. You've done that. Thank you very much. I really thank you. You're a great person. Look at you doing something great. Thank you. After that, let's go back into it in 3, 2, and 1. Sunny Hayes, at some points in his career, had a very tragic accident. It really messed him up. It left him with
C5 neck fracture, spinal contusion, compressed thoracic vertebrae, further blunt force impact trauma likely to result in vision loss, paralysis, death.
Really lead with the good news, don't they?
Yeah, what Ruben said. It really messed him up. He got addicted to gambling. He got divorced 3 times, 2 times actually, and he was living in his van at this current point. He was at rock bottom at a very old age. He was at rock bottom. At, I think, 50 right now, he was still living in his van. He was at rock bottom, and he represents a lot of places. Although we might not hit rock bottom like that's most of us, there is a certain point in our lives that we will hit rock bottom. Not even once, a lot of times. And I want to really describe what it means, to give meaning to your pain at this current point. So, at some point, Sunny Hayes found something, or if you rather, something found him. It found him. And by it, I mean his desire for racing found him again. Because after the tragic crash as you've seen, I'll show a couple of, oh my god. I will show a couple of clips, as you've seen in the B-rolls, or on your screen. That really messed him up, and after that tragic accident, he lost his desire for racing at all, completely, and that represents majority of the things that really happen. Maybe you might be a teacher or an athlete, and something really happens, and it really purges you of your purpose, or that sense of that desire for some particular thing, or your purpose at this point. But at some point, that desire found him again. His ultimate goal was to win a Formula 1 race, which is very hard. And to get into Formula 1 at his situation is absolutely difficult. But he didn't let that particular thing or that particular factor stop him. What he did is he started moving. He did every single thing conceivable. He did NASCAR, he did endurance racing, he did Indy racing, he did normal street racing, he did bungee racing and stuff like that. He did every single thing under the sun. And at some point, Formula 1 found him.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say for one day, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
You see, gentlemen, finding your purpose is as much of a spiritual thing than a physical thing. It's a very spiritual thing. Life is spiritual, and I always tell every single person I interact with on a deep level, I always tell them that life is very spiritual. The feeling of being lost, the feeling of meaningless, the feeling of you're a huge failure, and the feeling of thinking that you haven't done enough, all of that is part of the journey of finding your purpose. The feeling of feeling lost, everything, all that is part of the journey of finding your purpose. So if you're in that position right now, I want you to do what Sonny did. He didn't stick around waiting for the Formula One opportunity to come to him. No, he started moving to it, because it's a two-way thing when finding your purpose, because the purpose will find you. Sonny placed himself in a position where that Formula One thing will find him, because obviously you cannot be approached by a manager for a Formula One team if he hasn't tracked you and seen, hey, this guy can do good. He obviously tracked him and saw, hey, this guy's been racing for a while. I can bring him on because he has experience in Formula One, although it's like that decades of upgrades and innovation that has happened, but still he's good on the wheel, and I can see him, he's doing a lot of things. So he has experience, not just with a Formula One, but with a lot of things. So doing a lot of things, you never know who is watching. Honestly, every single step, every single detail every single step that you take, honestly, can place you in a situation where your purpose will find you, because your purpose won't start moving to you if you don't start moving to it. You have to start moving towards your purpose. Start with anything. Experiment, fail, move on, research, rewind, and do it again. That is how your purpose will find you. So start moving. It can be as little as brushing your own teeth, starting for 1 hour. Just do it. Regardless of how you feel, honestly, that desire, that energy, it will find you. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a great one. Cheers and God bless.